The last 90% silver dollar issued by the U.S. Mint for circulation was not the Eisenhower. That was a copper clad for circulation. The last silver dollar for circulation was the peace dollar from 22 to 35. And then again, year after gold was taken away, silver dollars were taken away, and the rest is history. Well, we've put together a collection over the last few months of the very first year all three mints struck the peace dollar. That will be 1922. And there's some hidden secrets here. But first of all, let's look at these gorgeous uncirculated coins. The item number is 905, 1979, one of our vintage numbers going back over a decade ago. But it comes down to three coins: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now a timeout. Now we're looking at the price, $149.95. Now we're going to use a calculator and divide that by 3 and come back to under $50 a coin, and you get the branch mints. That's how crazy special this one is.
Now, mintage versus population, you know, when you look at mintage figures, that tells you one story, and then you look at population reports, and that usually tells you a very, very different story. Now, in 1922, they made 51 million Philadelphia Mint coins, right? They made 15 million Denvers and 17 million San Francisco mints.
So again, the overall concept here was the fact that we have the highest minted peace dollar in the series. That's 1922, the Philadelphia here. And our competition still has that coin at 126 bucks, by the way. But then you get into the other, the Denver and the San Francisco, and that is a whole different story. Whole different story. The mintages are tinier. But now we have this thing called population reports, because it's 100 years ago. We have no idea where these went. Did somebody buy 1,000 of them and once a year throw 1,000 up in the air and they all came down, got ran over by a truck, and they look like they're flat pieces of silver today? We don't know that. But population reports, whether it's NGC, PCGS, or ANACS, give us an indication of what we're seeing. So here is the scary part. This one just walks you right into the door and you say, wow, I'm hooked. I'm in. I'm done.
Right.
The Philadelphia makes total sense.
Made 51 million coins, and population reports show that 227,000 exist in this grade. All
Absolutely.
grades. Now, the branch mints are much, much less. The Denver, out of 15 million coins, you're looking at 9,190. And while we're on this shot, the mint mark is right below the ONE on the left side, the 1. We'll go back to that and show you when we get back to it. So Denver, 15 million coins, 9,190 according to the population. San Francisco, 17 million coins made, but only 8,046 are known in this grade, all grades. It's truly, truly stunning to know how few coins exist.
So again, that's envisioning this concept of loss, right? Because again, 51 to 15, 51 to 17 is a much smaller number, but it's still a bigger number. But then again, you got to remember the Manhattan Project, right? The Manhattan Project during World War II was melting of coins. It wasn't this Morgan dollars, because all the Morgan dollars were already melted, and then they brought back and made more Morgans in 21. The coins that were in the vaults were the peace dollars, the more relevant year. Another spin on this, just hear me out. To find one Denver, based on the mintage figures and population reports, it's 1.6 bags. That's 1 in 1,600 are known today.
So you have to go through 1,600 coins. If you take the figures between the mintage population, plugging them into an equation, that means you have to go through 1,600 coins to find one in this condition.
Of 1,600 coins that were made in 1922, right, one is known to exist today.
Right. That's
the S mint is even more. It's 2.1 bags, 2,100 to 1. So if they made 2,100 coins, surviving, it's like almost lottery number type stuff. Surviving is 1. And that's just taking the mintage the mintage divided by population gives you the 1 in what number, right? 1,600 and 2,100. Again, my competition, 126, 126, 122. That is north of 350 bucks. We are $200 less than that. That just makes this one special.
$149.95 for all three 1922 piece dollars. The Philadelphia, the Denver, and the San Francisco, all three uncirculated. The rarer Branchmans, Denver and Denver and San Francisco, were at $49.98 a coin. Or again, competition's at $126, $122 for Denver's. Savings tonight, over $220 in savings.
Again,
for the same coins.
A couple of things, again, that we have to be moving on shortly. We're getting down to single digits on this one. Been a lot of fun with coins so far tonight, and we're just getting started. Silver, hot. Vintage silver dollars, hotter, right? Because the value relationship between silver eagles today, and I can go back 100 years and get coins that are 100 years old for less than I'm buying a silver eagle. We mentioned it earlier, one of the Morgan dollars we talked about, and it's no different than tonight. What does a 2022 silver eagle sell for in the marketplace? 59 to 69. We have them at 49. And we can't keep them in stock. 149.95 divided by 3 means we're at $50 a coin, the same price. Why would you want a silver eagle when you can get a 100-year-old classic and not only get a classic, get all 3 of them from that year, which means if there's only 3 made, you get the 2 rare ones also. Guys, we got to put a 30-second clock up. We got to be moving on.
avccoins.com, everybody. That is the website to shop online when our phone calls are busy, or if you just feel like popping online and doing some shopping, whether it's during the show or anytime, 24/7. 905-1979 gets you right to this 1922 piece dollar PDS set, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each coin, stunning, uncirculated condition, $149.95. It's a great value.
And again, we talked about the rarity index. I mean, surprised with the larger mintage and then a decent population, but stunned by how few have been seen by NGC in the last 35 years of the 2 Branchmans. That just means, well, we know that too, though. When you're on the show floor, you're finding 10 to 1, maybe. 15 to 1, maybe. You don't find the D's and the S's anymore. And this is exactly what we're talking about. But tonight, under 50 bucks a coin. That's something to talk about. Thanks for your patience.